Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in another Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to get more solo wins here in Fortnite. I'm going to be talking about everything you guys need to know, and as well, I'm going to be talking through this gameplay. I had about 16 kills, so I'm going to be talking through this gameplay and explaining how I was able to win so easily. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and also subscribe to my second channel. The link for that will be in the description or the pinned comment. Turn on my post notifications and as well comment down below your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, if you guys would like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go over to the item shop, go down to support a creator, type in my code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. I really do appreciate all you guys who do add me. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so for the gameplay in the background, like I said, I dropped 16 kills in this game. I absolutely went off. That's usually a lot more kills than I usually get for a solo game, because in solos it is a little bit more difficult to find that amount of people, because typically in solos people can't reboot each other, so there's going to be less people overall. And of course, when there's duos and squads, there's going to be more people together, so that can increase the kills as well. So I had a very good game here. I want to talk through and explain what I did that allowed me to get the amount of kills in this game that I did, and also what allowed me to get the win pretty easily, because I really didn't have too many situations in this game where it was kind of rough or I really almost died. I didn't really have too many of those. I had a pretty easy game. So I landed on top of, I guess, the meteor, you can say, right by Salty Springs and the factories. Got a gun on there, dropped down, killed a guy at the house outside of Salty. Rotating over now to Salty, I have 3 kills. And so here I noticed going to be 2 guys in this building, and I didn't just run in. And the reason being is if I know people are in the building, and this really just goes for anything, if you know people are inside of a building or inside of anything, you don't know exactly where they are, you're better off just running around the building trying to locate where they are, because a lot of times what could happen is you can just walk around the corner and the guy's just waiting for you, third peeking around the corner, and the second you run around that corner, they're going to hit you for a 200 damage pump shot. And even if they hit you for like 100 damage, or even like 70 or 80, the chances of you winning that gunfight are going to be significantly low, because that guy already got that first shot on you, and unless you have max shield, you really just don't have that much chance at all unless you hit them for a 1 pump, which is really unlikely. So it's really best to locate the other players before you really try to make a move. So here ended up winning the build fight and got me 6 kills. There's another player in front of me. I decided to get a few tags on this player. And usually what I do is the second I get a few shots at another player, I usually just push up towards the player. But when I'm pushing up, I also shoot at their build, because the first thing that people do after they get shot at is they're going to be popping heals. So whether that be minis, bandages, or whatever the case may be. So if they're trying to pop bandages or minis, and of course, you have to rotate over there. So if you shoot them from a little bit of a distance, there is a little bit of time between when you get over there and the time that they peek over again or try to get off their heals. But as they're running over, if you constantly shoot at their wall, they're not able to get heals off, because they have to continuously build that wall, otherwise you're going to get shots on them. So that could be a really smart way to prevent people from getting heals off while you push them, especially if they're in the distance a little bit, and you definitely have to spend a little bit of time running over to that player, and you don't want them to get off the heals that you just got off of them, because if you hit the guy for 50 damage and by the time you get over there he already popped 2 minis, then the point of you getting those first 2 shots doesn't even matter. So you want to make sure that if you have a player weak or you get some damage on that player, you want to continuously shoot their wall and just prevent them from getting their heals off. So when you actually get over to the other player to make or go for like a wall replacement or whatever kind of push you want to do, that you're able to get that kill a lot easier, and because they're not going to have the full shield. And so this player, I saw exactly what I was trying to do, but he was building out of metal, so I kind of just let it be, because it would have just taken way too many bullets to try to destroy the structures that he had. So I immediately pop out this guy's campfire, and so I noticed after the update where they had the turbo build, so basically on the same wall it's a lot less. So one thing I do now, especially if the other player is a little bit weaker, or I know or I'm just trying to get a few shots on that player, I'll literally just spray through the wall because I know I can get tags through it because their turbo building is about 0.15 of a second. So if you have an SMG like a minigun SMG, if someone's on the opposite side of the wall, even if they're sitting there holding turbo build, you're still going to get at least, if you spray a full clip of SMG at a player behind that wall, even if they're turbo building it, I guarantee you're going to hit at least 3 to 4 shots. So if the other player is weak or you're just trying to get a little bit of shield off of them, just spray at their wall and I guarantee you're going to get a few more shots on them. Because before, when turbo build was in the game, that really wasn't that much of an issue, but now it really is, and it's super easy to get kills on the other player. So here we have another player inside of a building. This guy was just sitting in the window. I noticed he wasn't the greatest of players, otherwise he probably would have went for a little bit different of a play. And so here I'm going for the height of the building because I didn't know if anything was like broken in the back, because I didn't want this guy to get height, even though I knew it would probably be an easier kill. I didn't really want to give him high ground, because then even if I do win the gunfight, if he gets like a good amount shot on me, if he hits me for like 70 or 80 damage, it still kind of is a loss, because at this point I do have 200 HP, so any type of shots he gets on me is going to be shield that I can't replace. And so here I am going to be rotating over to the next player. So at this point, I'm just looking at where everyone is. And I notice there's going to be a player right behind this wood structure. So as I'm running up, I'm just building ramps to, protect my build. And also at the same time, just to rush towards the other player. And if you're ever getting shot at when you're doing this, it's super simple. Just turbo build your ramp and you're constantly going to be running forward while you're building. So it really shouldn't be that much of an issue. I know this player was just below his structure. Got one shot on him, placed a wall, finished him off with my SMG. So the next player I'm going to be going against, he gets a really unfortunate shot on me with his RPG. So at this point, I'm trying to get off one of my heals. I notice I'm not going to be able to. So the next thing that I immediately do is go for high ground, because if I do get high ground on this player like 2 or 3 stories, then that does give me an opportunity to get off my heals and still have high ground. Either way, I still want to get off of my heals. So I noticed that this player decides to jump down. I know he had an RPG. So I noticed that beside of me there was a mountain, so I can take that opportunity to get off my heals, because even if he destroys it, I'm going to land right on top of the mountain and not take a lot of fall damage, which he does. And as soon as I did, I immediately have high ground again. And if I wanted to, I can build up probably 3 more stories and try to get off a med kit. But at this point, I do have high ground, and I feel like I had enough space to where that guy wasn't going to get like a 120 damage headshot. Because that is something, if you have less than 100 HP or at 100 HP, the guy with the pump shotgun, if it's blue, he can just get a 1 tap to the body. So in that case, you definitely want to make sure that you're backed off a little bit, especially if you have something like I had a med kit. It would probably be better to get off the med kit than trying to go for a challenge on a player if they just hit you once. And that's just a personal preference. If you are really fast about it and you know the player's weak, then you can definitely go for that type of push, but it definitely is a little bit risky. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. I was just spraying this guy through his builds. I hit him like 2 or 3 times for 20 damage on white HP. And I was being careful not to fall into this guy's boxes right there. He tried to place a trap. So I was really going to be careful of that because I knew that player was trying to do it. And I probably would have got the elimination on the finish of this player much earlier. But there was someone in the distance trying to shoot me with a sniper rifle. And he was towards my southwest. So when I go to destroy this guy's builds, there's a reason why I came from this side, because like I said, the guy is southwest. So the player that I'm trying to fight, the guy above me, he's going to be in between me and the other player, versus if I was on the other side, then I would be in between both of them, which can give me a severe disadvantage, especially if that guy happens to hit a sniper on me. Then I'm down to 100 HP or maybe even 50, depending on if he has a heavy sniper. And in that case, there's a good chance that I could possibly lose the gunfight, because the player that's next to me is going to realize that I'm weak and then try to go for a challenge on me. And I've seen that happen a lot of times to different players, in which they're trying to fight another player. They have really good HP, and then like a third party snipes them or gets like a crazy damage shot on them, and the player they were fighting decides to challenge because they saw that you were low. And I see this happen a ton, and the best way to prevent it is just to have better positioning and put yourself, or at least put the other player in between you and the other player that's trying to get the snipe on you, and that's usually the best way to go about it. So here I am fighting the last player, and I just immediately went for high ground because I didn't know exactly where this player was. And if you don't know where a player is, it's really smart to just go for high ground and then make sure you're not peeking over your structure or anything like that. In case the other player does have a sniper, then they could just line up a really easy shot. So always make sure you're not peeking more than you have to while you're trying to search for the other player. And that's exactly what I did. Found the other player, and now I got 1 tag on him, and now I'm just trying to get his wall. play really fast, but I'm also being careful not to run inside of one of his boxes so he doesn't get an easy trap kill on me, and I end up finishing off the game with 16 kills. And with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on my notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video, and alright guys, I'll see you next video.